you're doing a clap or whatever.
Get me a clap like
yeah.
Wait. Somehow get me a clap like fresh this week.
Yeah. Oh, you should have said that into the mic because that would have been a good one for them. Clap like fresh as week. Just do the clap.
Get me a clap like
this
fresh
is to
as
sync
week.
the audio. Not everyone knows the.
There's sort of like intricacies, isn't
well,
there, with
people
the,
are not in
podcasting world? Obviously, a lot
they
of people
probably know
don't
not to
realise
talk over each other.
Oh, sure.
As soon as it starts.
Turn your fucking phone on silent
well,
as well.
It's been a bad return so far.
It's not a return. You've got to remember, we've already put out an episode. It's just time, isn't it?
Right.
As past, as present, as future.
We're coming at this at 50 miles an hour to start with. So we're back again for another bite of the cherry.
Much like last episode.
Right. We just released an episode last week that was us in the car travelling to a gig.
Slightly.
We just released an episode. Now this is our first one back in studio, or as some people call it, our living room. But
yes.
I like to keep the illusion that we're in a professional podcast studio. We got this bad boy. I don't know if it's in shot. We got this new mixer. Spent £500 on it, so financially I have to be dedicated to this podcast.
People
now.
Really need to start like donating or subscribing to the Patreon.
We don't have
I'm going to
Patreon.
set up a Patreon below.
For now, we can set it up
there?
now. I'm happy with setting it up now. But what would be our initial perks? Bearing in mind that we've not even consistently done a public episode every week.
Right, they'll get
Most people do a public episode every week and then a Patreon episode for the fans that pay. We're not even committing to the first part. Early access, they could get early access. But they won't know to subscribe to the Patreon because it'll already be out a week earlier. It's it's mind-bending.
We could just like...
The people who hear this first can't subscribe.
There's no perks we can give them.
We're going to start doing this much more regularly. There's a reason why this come back. Maybe have you actually worked out how many comebacks in we are at the moment?
No, but it's a few.
It's 4 or 5.
I reckon it's actually higher than
some
that,
of them were
which is a
half
lot.
a comeback. Because remember when we first started the podcast in I think it was New Year's of 2020. Yeah. Then there was a big break after that, and then we relaunched it again in COVID.
Yeah.
Then there was a period where we were doing 2 a week because there was not much else to do in COVID. Then there was several.
That was a good time when we were doing 2 a week. We were smashing them out then.
It was. Well, you say it was a good time looking back.
But we only did it 3 weeks, didn't we?
Yeah. And I feel like it's just a fair characterization. And it might be because you've got more to do. Generally, you do a lot of the editing. You normally get fed up with the podcast before me.
Yes, I think back then I was because we were doing 2 a week. It was
and you're
recording, editing, and uploading in one day basically.
Yeah,
and I was working, which is why we stopped doing 2. Although some of our comebacks have been a case of it's not been a case of either of us have got fed up. It's just we've just not had time to do it, and then we just stopped doing it.
Yeah, the last one wasn't. We didn't fall out.
Yeah, the last one was we finished the last episode fully intending to do another episode, and then we just never did.
The last two breaks have not been falling out. The last one was just, schedules got too busy. The one before that was, remember, our camera broke for a couple of months. We were getting that fixed.
3 months or something.
Yeah. So we got the camera back. The reason why we think we can commit to it a little bit more now. So before Joe was working, and fans of the show will be, shocked to hear there's a change in this.
They won't, because they would have heard it last week on the road.
Oh, shit, yeah. Well, I keep forgetting we recorded an episode in the car. But people who just only like the episodes in studio only, they refuse to acknowledge the car episode as an official episode.
As Eric does.
Joe's got a new job now. He's not working nice, and it was difficult to record the podcasts.
Yeah,
because I'm tutoring and doing gigs in the evening. Joe's often working in the evening when he was at Iceland, or just all over the place.
Either I was working when you were out, or I was working early morning, so I couldn't
Yeah, but now you've started a new 9 to 5 job. Now, what might
8:45 to 5:30.
8:45 to 5:30. Well, so getting in those extra hours. But now that should be stable. So we should be able to have a solid. Joe's free in the evening. We should always be an evening 3 for us to record, or a weekend day. What could jeopardise that in the future is it fair to say you already are hating the 9 to 5 pace, the 8:45 to 5:30 pace of life? Or do you not want to jeopardise your career this early into it?
It's probably not that good, but no one's got me on Facebook yet, and I can just
Just never
do that
accept
thing
an
where
offer.
I
It's just
hide
say you're a
them,
very
yeah.
private person as well.
Yeah. I don't know if I would say I hate it. What I hate...
A couple of days in you hated, which is normal.
I lost my head a bit a couple of days in.
So you've been working there for a week and a half now?
Yeah.
And for the people who don't acknowledge the driving episode as an official episode, just to update.
I'm doing the property sex.
Just to update, yeah. Joe he's spilling tea all over himself. Good return to the podcast.
It's a return to form, isn't it?
You are an estate agent, as we established in the last episode, not anything to do with the porn channel property sex. It's official estate agency work, letting out flats to people. But it's a lot of office-based work around, not just showing people around houses, doing a lot of... Well, is it, I don't actually know, is it like sort of, you've got to put shit in spreadsheets and stuff? Or
No, well, the thing is, because...
Talk me through your
Because
day.
I wasn't trained... So the reason I lost my head a bit, I think, is because I'm not really trained on anything. So there's nothing I can really do at the start. Because I don't know anything. So, like... I'm there for however long I'm there for, 8:45 till 5:30, and a lot of that time there's nothing to do, and I really can't stand being sat around doing nothing.
Yeah,
Just
and this
like
is your
looking at the
first. You
same
never had
emails.
like a desk job before, I guess.
No.
You're always, had a lot. I guess Iceland, there's always something to do.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't, I could just sort of like wander around, and like even that is more than just like sitting at a desk.
So let's go first day of work. Last week, because you've been working for about a week and a half now, aren't you, in this new job? Let's go first day of work. Get in there, 8:45. You can drive now, obviously, because of the car episode. You're driven to work. What happens? What's your first task? Do you have to meet your boss?
No, I get in. I get set up on the computer, get my email set up, and just do a bit of training, really, on my first day. The first day wasn't too bad because I still had some stuff to do because it was training. I think
Is this training like on a computer program kind of thing?
Yeah, just like learning system.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um,
And then what do they must know that you have nothing to do quite quickly.
Yeah, you'd think so, but
although that's the same in my job, which I don't want to
busy,
jeopardise as well.
But it's like there's no time for them to train me, and it's sort of a catch-22 type thing. Because if they had time to train me, they wouldn't be as busy because I could do some of it, but they can't train me because they're too busy.
And the difficulty is you're in an office, so people might see if you just like on Facebook or something like that.
I can't really like.
Is it open planned?
This week maybe I can because I share my office. There's like a middle bit of our office, and it's just me and one other person, and she's on holiday this week. So this week I could maybe get away a bit more with like not doing as much.
Are you always in the same desk?
Yeah. Although yesterday I was out on viewing, so I was out for about over 3 hours, probably over 4 hours yesterday.
Right.
I left at about 12 to do the viewings, and then they finished at 4, and I went and got my lunch. So I wasn't back at the office till about 4:30, 4:45, and I finished at 5:30.
Does your manager walk past your desk? Yeah. Okay. What you need to do? What's that thing you can do on Windows? When I was a supply teacher, there's a way on. I use Macs. I'm not a Windows boy. What the kids used to do is like if you press like F6 or something. I don't know what the button is, but press something and it brings up another desktop. So they have all their games on another. So it doesn't look like it's on another window. It's like on another desktop.
Sure.
And I used to know about this trick, but I used to not know the button to press to see. I was like, I know you've just changed your desktop. I know you're on Miniclip, man.
Yeah, they had access to Miniclip.
I don't know if it was
That
Miniclip.
was always like
you know what? There was
you
you always find some website where the games aren't blocked. They were always on games. And what annoyed me about supply teaching.
It was for me as a kid.
You what?
The website was physicsgames.com.
Oh, okay.
But it just
so
had
it's like educational.
Well, yeah, but it just wasn't. It was just like
Just games.
Yeah,
Just
Miniclip games.
What annoyed me at what kids, and maybe I didn't realise this was when I was a kid, or maybe it's just because I'm a bad teacher, but I care as little about their education as they do.
Sure.
So if they're all on games and stuff, I don't actually care. But my point is do it discreetly. I suppose they were doing it discreetly, but sometimes they're like, I want to not have to tell them off, so just don't make me see it.
Yeah.
But they'd argue back and stuff like that, or like be like, "Sir, he's on games, you're not telling him off." It's like, because I haven't caught him yet, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is just something I have to do.
Yeah, don't be a grass as well. That's fucking
I know, yeah.
proper ratty, isn't it?
Kids are they've got no morals. So
they
I've
don't.
always said that's the problem with children for me.
Yeah.
They haven't developed moral systems yet.
For me, it's the grubby little hands.
The grubby little hands.
Yeah,
Why are you holding their hands?
They freak me out. I'm not holding
Why are you
them.
touching it? How do you
I
know
just
they're
don't
grubby
like
then?
seeing them.
How do you know they're grubby?
Because they always are. I'd always like putting their fingers up their bums and in their faces.
You got to stop hanging around with kids, man. No, this is the impression you already want to make in our 7th relaunch of the podcast.
Probably more.
Probably more. So you're at your desk.
Yeah.
You need to. What's the team? So you were one. You said there's one other person there.
Yeah, in my bit of the office.
Have you made friends yet? Basically, I feel like what you want to do in an office is not that I've worked in loads of offices, but find the people that are also trying to put the minimum effort in.
Sure.
And all sort of be cover for each other in terms of like, you know, if he looks over and you're not doing anything, it's like, yeah, no one cares. You look over at them. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. It's quite difficult to do that just because of the layout of the office.
Yeah.
So there's like the front room where the sales is, and there's 4 people in there. The 2 people that are at the front really can't get away with doing nothing because everyone can see their desks. Like if you walk into that room for the printer, you can see their computers, and the 2 people behind them can see their computers. But the 2 people at the back could maybe get away with doing less.
Yeah.
And then you walk through and there's like a little kitchen. And then you walk through and then there's my bit of the office. And then you walk through the back and then there's the other 2 desks.
Yeah.
And the rest of the kitchen. One of the people in there has maybe got the sweetest deal because like I don't think anyone could see her computer.
It's beautiful.
Because it's sort of like an L shape with a person there, so they can't see their computer, and no one walking through can see it because it's backed up against the wall.
It's a bit of a existential. Like we're having a bit of an existential crisis. I don't know if that's because it's like you've got like what are you meant to do if you've got nothing to do but you have to pretend like you're working, and then were you just sort of thinking, maybe I'm projecting too much onto you, but you just sort of thinking, is this the rest of my life pretending to do work?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of that. I was like, what have I done? Like,
yeah.
I think it was right that I left Iceland, and I think I had to.
Yeah.
But also I was like, at least I had something to do there. I had, purpose.
I guess it'll probably get busier.
It's all right. Like now I've been out doing viewings, it's been a bit better because that kills up some time.
You've been showing people around flats and houses and that. How's that been? Were you nervous about that?
No, not really, because you're just sort of letting them in and showing them around. It's not like...
Well, you don't have to be... Have they like pushed any kind of sales? Like, have they trained you in a salesy way? Do you have to like say certain words and try and get...
No, not
You're not
really
on any commission, are you? Like,
you do get a commission, yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess it's your own... How does the commission work, if you don't mind me asking? How does it work
in
on
terms
rent?
of how does it work? I actually don't know.
Because like
I'm not sure.
So I get on sales, it'd be like maybe a percentage of something. But rent, you're just getting that as long as they're there? Maybe it's like a percentage on the first month rent or something.
I imagine it's maybe a case of the landlord pays the estate agent to like list it and all that.
Yeah. And you just get
if it gets rented, you maybe get part of that. I would assume. I don't know. But
yeah, fair enough. Do you have to deal... Does the estate agents, when it's renting, do you deal with like, you know, if you need to kick someone out and shit like that, or is that always the landlord?
I think it depends on the property. Some of them probably, yeah.
Yeah. I always feel that's why I'd never be a landlord. That and the financial.
And the fact you can't afford a house.
Can't even afford my own house, never mind one to rent out. But I'd feel so bad, like kicking out a poor family or that, or even a family that's like, you know, being proper, like deserves to be thrown out because they're like having parties and that. I think I'd just be too much. Like, I'd go around and talk to them. I'd be like, they're trying to sort their life out, even if they're not. You know what I mean? I'd hate to, because I guess when I was growing up, my mum, when my mum and dad split up, we were renting and stuff, and we'd be that family that they were trying to kick out and stuff. And I don't want to do that to someone else because it is genuinely like worried you're going to be homeless.
It is crappy, but like
I remember my mum crying and shit because at one point where we were getting kicked out and it didn't look like we could find somewhere else. And
I think generally people are only going to bother kicking people out if like they're not paying.
Maybe we were always paying. It was generally a lot of the time it's because the landlord wants to sell.
That stuff's a bit. But then it's like, so that's not what I'm imagining as kicking people out. That's, to me, that's saying like, giving you like your notice. I guess that is the same as kicking someone out.
Yeah, but like it's hard if you've got a family of...
I'm imagining like you're squatting in a flat and like...
I even mean giving a notice, because I think when I was a kid, when we lived in this place, and it was shit anyway. There was like mold there that the landlord didn't sort out, and he wanted to sell it or whatever, and then he had like 2 months, might have been 1 month notice or 2 months notice, whatever it was. But it's not that much time to find a place, affordable place for like a big family and stuff, and so we ended up getting a shitty council house eventually. It was a bit out of town. It smelled of like coal.
Oh, nice.
It's like by a railway track, like on the side of a railway track. And
You've told me about this before.
Yeah,
you told me about Big Den storming out.
Oh yeah, because it was like quite far from town. So my brother Den, shout out. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, shall we say? I think it was Christmas Day. Yeah, I think it was Christmas Day. So the place we lived was quite out of town, and there was nothing. It was like a little, the stone where I grew up was a town where there was shops and stuff. We lived in this little estate, not even a village, because there wasn't even like a corner shop or anything, by the railway. But the railway didn't have a stop there. And he just had an argument. He stormed out, but it was like 3-4 mile walk into town. And then I think he just walked over a mile and then came back. He probably walked for like 3 miles and then came. And also it's Christmas Day, so he couldn't storm out to anywhere.
I don't think you told me it was Christmas Day.
I'm pretty sure.
So I didn't realise it was.
I'm pretty sure it was Christmas Day
with no public transport, no shops open.
Unless I've added that part, but I'm pretty sure it's Christmas Day.
Bless him.
Yeah. You ever stormed out? You stormed out of work a while ago. Maybe that's why I first mentioned this. Remember when you were working at Iceland?
Yeah, we mentioned that in the car one as well.
Yeah. So you
showed me. I won't go too in detail on that, but I did storm out of Iceland. I think that's the only time I ever stormed out of anything.
Never stormed out of like a lesson or something at school, or?
No, I don't think I have.
Fair play. Were you naughty? Did you ever get in trouble?
Not
prankster?
Really. I wasn't a prankster. No. I got in trouble twice, I think, as a kid.
What'd you do?
One time
in school.
Yeah. One time I put my pencil case in my mouth and I was just pretending I was a dog. I go, and I got kicked out of class for that. That's
just for your own good, though, isn't it? What are you doing?
Well, I don't know why. That doesn't seem like it. Like, I don't.
I'd kick someone out for that as being on the other side of it as a teacher.
I don't know why.
Because, let me know if it bombed.
Give me 4 good reasons.
It just encouraged the other students. Like, a kid would do that to get attention and distract other students. They might all start laughing. Like, were you doing it when the teacher was talking at the board?
No. We were
during sort of work time.
Yeah, we would. It was like from a textbook. I think I was just doing it to my friend who was sat next to me.
I probably wouldn't kick someone out. I'd be like, "Get that out of your mouth." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, but were you told? Were you warned beforehand, or was this first offense?
It was just. She creeped up behind me, like I don't know, like the SAS or something. And just grabbed it out of my mouth and told me to get out.
Yeah.
I didn't like that teacher. She's the reason I got in trouble for second time as well. Well, the second time is more understandable, actually. Yeah.
What lesson is this to paint a picture?
I believe it was geography, but she was one of these teachers who taught
like that's the measure of geos.
Yeah, and, but she was one of those teachers that taught like 3 different subjects. So she taught PE, geography, and RE, I think.
Yeah, I imagined
Did you never have a PE teacher who also taught geography?
I actually did as well, yeah.
It's weird,
it's just like
it's a weird
there are 2 dumb subjects, basically.
Yeah.
My PE teacher, I don't know. He's a fat guy.
Yeah, she was quite a big lady as well.
But like, it used to annoy us because
shouldn't be teaching it.
Shouldn't be teaching it. And I think I always finished cross country in that, but I used to like have a go at the kids that were like walking towards the end or like that gave. It's like, you couldn't run around this field, you bastard.
Yeah.
And I used to fucking love
pies,
and like when we were playing like football in PE, like 5-a-side football or something, he'd join in on one of the teams.
Just fucking one of them.
Thunder, and he always used to tell us it was. I've probably told these stories on the podcast. He always used to tell us that he was as good as Kevin Davis. He was like a Bolton striker, but I don't know if you remember him, sort of classic Premier League player. But he got injured, and our teacher got injured. That's why he's not a professional footballer. And also, he used to, which I think was a lie. Have I told you the scouting thing?
For West Ham, is it?
For Aston Villa.
Aston Villa,
He told us he was a professional
some
scout for Villa.
claret-coloured club.
And like, on one point, I'm sure he was telling us like he got percentages of transfer fees and stuff like that. And then he was,
told me this.
and then he was like, I think we were doing some sort of football tournament at school, maybe between the houses, and he was like, "Yeah, I might get Martin O'Neill to ref the final. Actually, I'll ask him if he's up for it." That never happened. I don't know why I suggested
Did
it.
that happen? That's strange. He must not have been up for it.
Yeah. Why was I
Yeah.
talking about him? Oh yeah, yours was a PE teacher, geography teacher.
She always used to wear a singular white table tennis glove.
Why? Well, during table tennis?
No, all the time. During like geography, during PE, she'd always be wearing a table tennis glove.
Do you think she had
if it
maybe a
was
deformed hand or something that she's
No,
embarrassed
I don't
about?
think so.
Maybe she's a germaphobe, but just in one hand.
Someone,
really didn't
I
want-
think it's just she always wanted to be ready for a game of table tennis, and I don't think she
I
was
didn't
that
even
good
do
at table tennis.
I'm into table tennis, but I'm not like massively into it in a sort of competitive level. Do you have to wear a glove when you play? I never wear a
Well,
glove.
maybe I think maybe we just assumed as kids it was a table. It was like a white, like Michael
Table tennis
Jackson
players
style
wear
glove,
gloves?
or like a golf club.
I can't picture it now.
I think the only reason we probably assumed it was table tennis is because she would run the after-school table tennis club.
Maybe it's for better grip. I don't want to look.
But I don't
I'm bad
know.
at talking and looking up at the same time.
But yeah, the other time sorry, go on.
Comment below if you know whether table tennis players have to wear gloves.
Yeah, and
Or if it's the
if it's just
advantage
the
of
one.
it. I feel like you don't need that much extra grip.
No, me neither.
Like a tennis player doesn't wear a glove, does he? Now I'm questioning everything I ever knew. Now I can't picture if they do or
I
not.
don't think tennis do. Golf definitely do.
Maybe it's a golf glove.
Could have been a golf club. It was like white.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that teacher, so she used to do a thing where like, if someone was playing up a bit, she'd sort of laugh along with the class, and then she'd like immediately snap and shout "shut up," but like that, like she'd be laughing and then go "shut up," and she'd go bright red, and it was like, I don't know if it was like she was a bit crazy or something.
Yeah, it's like looking back now, we're adults. When you look back at teachers, most of them are mental, aren't they?
Yeah, because that is mental to do that. But there was one time we had a, I don't know if it was a teaching assistant or like I think it was a trainee teacher actually, and he was like training in her class, and he was talking to like we were in groups, and he was talking, and I think I just thought at one point it would be funny to do what she does and shout "shut up" at him out of nowhere. But like there was no like discussion of when this happened. I just thought
Did bomb.
I guess it kind of bombed. I
Just
don't
went
really
in the
remember.
middle lesson. He's like,
No, so we were
yeah.
in groups. I didn't do it like in front of a whole class. That would be a bit too outrageous for me. It's also
talking
it's
about
crazy that I
erosion.
would do this because like that's not the sort of kid I was at school. I was quite a quiet, shy kid. But he was just talking to like a group of like I don't know 4 or 5 of us.
yeah.
And just in the middle of talking, I just went shut up, and then he just went, "You step outside."
Just step outside one time.
I don't even think I got to like. I don't know if I managed to explain why I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah. And no one in the group laughed.
I don't think so. I think it was just a thing of
Would
like
he
shock.
have even got the
Because no one would have.
reference?
I don't
Would he-
think so.
Yeah.
I
Had he seen her do it before?
He maybe had, but I don't think he'd been there that long then, so he
Yeah.
might not have done. And no one in the like it was so unexpected for anyone in that group. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like I was like it had not even been discussed about the teacher who had done that in the group. So maybe I was the only one who had picked it up. Her name was Wendy, that teacher.
Surname?
Baden.
Pardon?
Baden.
Ah. Pardon?
Baden. Yeah.
Pardon me.
Baden me. Yeah. We had a teacher called Miss Mudd.
Do you ever have a sex dream about your teacher?
No. Did you?
Yeah, but it was one that you wouldn't have wanted to have a sex dream about. With
Sure.
Okay, well, every time we make a new start the podcast, I want to not have a go at fatties, but she's just a big. It's just weird. It feels weird to not mention it. She was just a large lady, and I just remember I
It
had
does feel weird to not
like a
mention.
sex dream where she like was basically like crushing me on top, and I was like
You're
12 at
loving
this
it.
point. You know what I mean?
You
So it's
are.
inappropriate for her.
Were you loving it? Or not?
I don't think so. I remember being.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just. There wasn't anything in it. I was just, I was just in it in the dream. Yeah.
Another thing Miss Baden did once. I
remember a kid, sorry, always used to joke about, I'm not going to say a name, but he used to be like, I mean, it's like a hacky old joke. You know, hey, you heard that Mrs. Whatever has lost weight now? Yeah, she started walking to McDonald's. He used to say that joke to me like every lesson we had.
Every lesson?
Maybe not. I'm exaggerating every lesson, but like multiple times. I don't think I gave it that much. No, I don't know why he kept telling me that joke.
It's good stuff.
Because you know, because the flaw with that is that you wouldn't be losing weight if you walked to McDonald's.
No,
you're having the McDonald's at the end of it.
Well, I guess it depends on how often she was going before.
It'd have to be a long walk.
What if beforehand she was going 5 times a day and she was driving every time, and now she's still going the same amount of times, but she is walking? Would you not argue that would lose weight?
Yes, maybe because you need a lot of calories when you're bigger. So then you do. I don't know.
I guess it depends on what sort of.
I don't know. She probably had some sort of. You know, a lot of people, it's not their fault that they have a lot of mass, because genetics. You put on more weight, don't you?
If you eat 7 McDonald's a day.
You have the genes that make you eat 7 McDonald's a day.
And they're bloody
7 a day, that's ridiculous.
Genes.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? You getting in trouble?
I was just going to say that Miss Baden once did this thing. I was just talking to my friend and she was sort of like, you know, I don't want this to be a seductive picture, but she was sort of bent over talking to someone. And she heard him talking and she just turned around and went, it was really weird. It was the creepiest thing I think I've ever experienced in my life. Because she was a sort of like quite an elderly woman, quite a, she wasn't that large, but she was, you know, larger than average.
Did you ever have a teacher that you properly fancied?
I don't know if I did in secondary. I did in primary.
As a little kid? Oh,
that's like a 10-year-old.
Like you'd care about what they thought of your drawings and that.
I don't think it was that. I think it was like a 10-year-old.
Oh, what was... No, we don't have to keep naming people. I don't want to name people.
I actually don't
remember. What was it about her?
Just I think
just a little fitty, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what
but
I don't think I had any in secondary school.
You what?
I don't think I had any in secondary.
I think mine were in secondary school rather than... Because obviously, that's, as a boy, and as a girl, I can only speak from a boy's point of view. That's when you start to get those feelings, you know, your pee-pee starts to get excited when you see lovely ladies and that. And, you know, there was a couple of lovely ladies who looked about. It's weird how, you know, I'm in mid-20s now, but them being... I suppose I am an adult, but them being like... Didn't that seemed a lot older when you were like 12. Like, I was 12, 13, maybe 14 or 15. I remember, like, English teacher, I think we found out she was like 25. I was like, this adult woman, man.
Yeah.
With the boobies and that.
With all the boobies all up nice.
Yeah. But really, she was just a child herself.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not a child at 25.
Yeah, she might have been quite mature.
She was actually dumb when I look back on it.
Why?
I've probably said this before. She was the one she pronounced misogynist, misogynist.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
My English teacher used to, he told us he fell off a mountain once and broke every bone in his body. And he was there for like a week before anyone found him.
Did he confuse his life with the film 127 Hours?
I think he might have done, yeah.
I haven't seen that film, but maybe he was the guy from it. Did he have one?
Well, no, he had both his arms. So,
might be a prosthetic.
Quite a sad story. He ended up having a stroke in school. And not
get fired. You get fired for that these days.
He was playing a game of chess and had a stroke, and he was off for like a year. Like year 9. But we had like a supply teacher for the whole of a year, and we'd just like watch films. We must have watched Romeo and Juliet, like the Baz Luhrmann version. Is that his name?
I don't know who Baz Luhrmann is. I know that Sunscreen song. Is that
I think it is him. The Leonardo DiCaprio one. You know, like the modern Romeo and Juliet. No, not Leonardo. No, is it that one?
I think I've seen one of them again in English, or maybe a couple of them. I don't know which ones are which and which ones I've seen.
Well, there's one where it was like in Romeo and Juliet, but in modern times, and they're all like riding around on motorbikes and shit.
Oh, right.
I don't think I've seen that about 3 times, and we watched the normal one about 3 times.
Yeah.
I think we maybe watched like other shit as well.
Yeah, you probably did loads of stuff, didn't you?
It was mostly just watching movies, though. Off Mice and Men, we definitely watched that.
Yeah. Yeah. You watch Lord of the Flies movie?
No, we didn't study Lord of the Flies.
No. It tells us how it's about man's inhumanity towards man.
Yeah, we saw about Off Mice and Men, which was just about rabbits.
Yeah.
And pretty girls.
Yeah, it's about the foibles of a big dumb fella, innit?
Yeah, I ain't
He
done
gets himself
nothing
into
wrong.
loads of twists
I
and
ain't
turns.
done nothing wrong, George.
Did you cry when like in that? I think I maybe cried watching that thing. It's just like,
No, I think
I
I'd
cry at dumb innocent. You know, like Forrest Gump. That
Yeah, no, Forrest Gump I cried. I
That
don't think I
cries
cried out of Mice and Men. Probably one because we were reading it in school and like.
a simple man will get tears from me.
Yes, well, that's a fable, isn't it?
Gilbert Grape. Did I cry at that? Probably didn't cry at that.
I've not seen what's eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah, it's a good film. It's got a big fat lady in that as well.
Yeah.
She falls through. Oh, she died. Spoiler alert: she dies walking up the stairs because she's fat. And it's not a comedy.
No, but it should be. No,
It's about reality. That's what can happen. I always feel sorry for that, like, because she was like, because it wasn't a comedy, but I think she was meant to be like comically fat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I always feel sorry for the actor, or maybe not sorry because they're getting paid, but like the casting sheet or whatever. I don't know how acting works.
Someone must have
It must
put
say
out a
like
call for like obese woman.
like more, but that would have said like morbidly obese person required to play whatever. It probably might have even said super morbidly obese.
Yeah.
Remember that clip from Super Size versus Super Skinny? Was that Channel 4 show? There's always a clip I see on TikTok that it's like, interesting news is you're not morbidly obese. You're super morbidly obese.
That is outrageous, isn't
It's really funny. He says it to an actual
super
person,
morbidly obese
yeah.
person.
That shit was crazy.
I thought it
I
was
can't
just
remember the point
I've
of it.
seen that, but I thought it was just a mattress he was talking to.
Yeah. What was the point of that show? Like,
I don't
why
know.
did it have to-
You know what? I feel
can't
like
remember what they
I
did.
don't remember watching it.
I did
just see
watch it. I
clips
used
of it every now and
I
again.
used to watch all those programs. Like, my mum would just watch them and I'd watch them as well. I don't know if it was like...
Was the intention to make people like eat better, or was it just like...
But I think...
Just
No,
see
but
what
I
they
guess
eat?
the point of putting them both together, I think they thought like a super fat person would see a super skinny person and be like, yeah, I really should lose weight. I am eating too much by how... But the point is that's not healthy either.
No.
And the super
Did
skinny...
they do a thing on that show where they swapped diets for like a week or something?
Oh, maybe
Or is
they
that
did, but
something
that
else?
it could be that. That makes a bit more sense in the format. Well, that's crazy because
That skinny
firstly, a
person
super
is not
skinny
gonna-
person eating that much food might actually cause them to like die because their body's not
Yeah.
used to it. Like I heard, like, you know, when David Blaine, you remember he did a stunt where he was in like that box and he only drank water for 40 days or something like that. I think he talked about like hospitalize him, like eating a donut or something
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
you told me about something
Yeah,
like
like
that.
just eating like one thing after that, like really fucked him up, and it was like really hard to get back to eating normally. And yeah, and then the super fat person just, I don't know what the super skinny people are, just eating like fucking one salad leaf a week. That's not going to be good.
Yeah. No, that isn't going to be good for someone that fat.
Yeah. So,
But crisps don't count, do they?
what do you mean crisps don't
They
count?
don't count as calories.
No, they do.
Right? What?
Joe, you gotta bend. Are you addicted to crisps? I don't see you eating that.
No,
many
I
crisps.
do like crisps. I'm not addicted.
What's your biggest vice when it comes to food?
My biggest
Maybe a food
vice.
podcast from now on.
You know what? I don't even know. I don't know what my biggest. I like them all.
Yeah, I like biscuits.
I do like snacking.
I like snacking. I can't make.
I don't snack on biscuits that much. It's either chocolates.
You know what? I don't think
or
I could ever
crisps.
be. And maybe you're not meant to be. I don't think I could ever be a 3 meals a day person with just nothing, no food in between that.
Could you not? You know what? I think I was sort of like that growing up.
Oh yeah,
I was sort of like.
I love snack. It's
It's
more
sort
for
of
me. It's more of a
enforced.
boredom, requirement of pleasure thing. I can't withstand my own thoughts for that long.
I think mine's natural rebellion.
Is it rather
Yeah.
than just demons that you're suppressing? With?
Yeah, because like
sugar.
growing up, it would be like breakfast, dinner at school. Obviously, you're not really snacking at school.
Mm.
Unless there's people like you selling Mars bars, but
Yeah.
that was stomped out quite quickly at my school.
Mm. Stomped out in my school, but I just kept coming back. It kept responding to the stomp.
Yeah, man. I
They
think
flatter me and I
there
get
was someone at my school who did it, and my school was a business school, and I think they used that in their argument about why they should let them do it. But it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then, you'd go, you'd have tea, and we wouldn't really be allowed snacks unless it was like fruit until supper.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So maybe that's why I snack a lot now.
Act of rebellion.
Yeah.
I think it's probably to do with the demons, personally.
Maybe, yeah, but maybe if I was allowed to race a bar as a kid a bit more.
Do you not feel like you snack less when you're in a better place mentally? Well, no,
Sure.
maybe, yeah.
Sure.
So isn't that correlation, not causation? There is your argument with that one.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm getting bad in terms of eating stuff just before bed. Or like I'm a bit insomniac-y. I mean, I don't know. That's the right way of saying that word in that. But I can't sleep very well, and I'll just be sort of tossing and turning, and then I'll just get up and have a snack. Like I'll have a bowl of cereal at like one.
What? And then will you just go back to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems a bit. Were you
But then I still won't necessarily sleep straight away.
Okay, I was imagining it as you'll wake up.
We've become a big bagel flat since the last relaunch.
You know what? As well, those bagels I had earlier weren't that good.
Well, they're not.
They were very bready.
The Tesco one. So sometimes the New York bagels are a lot better than the
I think I wish I'd got New York.
Well, that's why I think
Aldi don't sell New York.
I was having a go at you because you didn't toast a bagel.
Didn't toast it.
Which I think is less of an issue with the New York bagels because they've got a bit softer anyway.
Normally not an issue for
me.
I
think the sort of Aldi owned bagels they're only nice when they're toasted. Sorry, Aldi.
Huge.
But shout out to the producers of New York bagels. Big fan of a bagel, and I've got into Philadelphia.
Producers.
What?
Producers of New York bagels. Yeah. So, well, if anyone from New York bagels is watching and wants to send us some free...
Not producers as in like TV producers, but just whoever produces.
The people who produced them.
Yeah. Well, how would you say? Manufacturers of it. Not you manufacture a bagel?
Yeah. Well, I thought you meant just specifically the people who created the New York bagel. I didn't think you meant the people who are currently making New York bagels.
Yeah, well, that's what I did mean, but
yeah, shout out to New York bagels. Send us some bagels.
Yeah, I've never had that. You know what? To be fair, I thought I'd never had anything that competed with them, and I still haven't really. But Warburton, I got some Warburton's bagels the other week, and they were up there in the bagel.
Are they the regular ones or the thin ones? You can get the thin bagels.
They were fairly thin. They weren't like. I don't think they were specifically thin.
Marketed as thin.
No, but they were already, which I think New York do this as well.
Pre-sliced.
Pre-sliced, yeah.
That is a big thing because like...
And not that it's massive effort to slice a bagel, but it is nice.
I think sometimes the knife can go away from you and you get like a...
Dodgy angles, one thick
you
slice.
Get one tiny little thin slice and then you're chewing through like...
You know, I'm glad you said
10
that.
10 inches of bread before you get to anything inside.
I was going to raise that as an issue, but I thought that was just me because I
think bagels
walk straight, so now I can't, I obviously can't cut straight.
Yeah, no, I think bagels are difficult to cut straight through.
Big fan of Philadelphia cheese. Cream
you're
cheese.
a big cream cheese man.
Normally Aldi's own brand, which I think is that competes with the
I like
the
Nordpack as well.
What?
Nordpack.
What's Nordpack?
The butter.
Like the Lurpak, Aldi Lurpak.
Yeah.
Only issue with that, and we've discussed many times in private, if not on the airwaves. Markets itself as spreadable. It's often very difficult to spread.
You know what? I think normally I disagree with that. I think it's a lot more spreadable than Lurpak is. But
more spreadable than Lurpak, I'll say that.
This tub we've got here, I have had struggle spreading.
Yeah. And then I rip the bread. I'm a bread ripper.
You're a bread ripper, and you leave
put it on the side for
carrots in the butter for some reason.
I noticed that.
Carrots and lettuce
that was
left
from,
in the butter.
I
don't know why. I don't know why there's butter in a carrot.
No, I had a burger yesterday on a bagel. Toasted the bagel, very nice.
Thanks, man.
I had like 3 bagels yesterday, man. That's too many bagels.
Well, I had like 6 crumpets the other night.
Yeah.
I was just in a big... You know when you just get in a crumpet mood? Do you ever get in a crumpet mood? You know what it is? The other day I was in a...
both turned into Jim Gaffigan.
I was in a really big toast mood the other day.
Yeah.
And I was just loving some toast.
Sometimes I get in an overall sort of carbs mood, like a starch mood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mine's specifically toast. Yeah. But as I was eating the toast, I was like, I could go for some crumpets. And then I bought some crumpets the other day, as you know, because you messaged me. Asking if you could have
that's before I was back. I was just did a gig in Nottingham.
Is that when you stole one of my bagels?
Probably. No, I stole the bagel today.
Oh,
and the other thing...
While I was asleep.
Oh, actually, were the plain bagels yours as well? I can't remember.
Mine was just a sesame.
Yeah, so the plain ones, I had them instead of the crumpets when I got back from my gig. But yeah, it was all right. I just wanted to mix it up with... I saw the crumpets on the side. When I was in the car on the way back, I thought I'll mix it up because I keep eating bagels. Maybe I'll have a crumpet when I get back.
Yeah.
But they were gone.
Lo and behold, they were all gone.
fine with me. You want to eat 6 bagels in one night, then that's your thing to answer to. What did you have on them? Just plain?
Just butter.
Just butter, yeah. Were they,
I love a butter crumpet.
sourdough bagels? Sourdough crumpets, sorry, not.
I don't think so.
I've had them before.
I think they were just standard Aldi owned crumpets.
They're pretty nice.
They were quite cheap.
Cheese is good on a crumpet sometimes. And you
I think it was...
fried eggs are
egg
good
on a
on
crumpet, yeah. I haven't had that with you once.
Yeah, I've got that from Horatio Gould when I stayed round his.
Yes, he made it.
Were we both round?
I think we must have been because I remember him making us egg on crumpet.
Yeah, like it was just
OJ.
Yeah, and I thought it's simple, but it's effective.
Yeah, Heston Blumenthal, he eat your heart out.
Yeah, he's sort of dipped, hasn't he? I haven't seen him.
Yeah,
he should do a
what he's doing
podcast.
now.
He used to do a lot of experimental food.
He used to do like giant pack lunches and stuff, didn't he?
What?
Like giant pack lunches.
I don't remember that. Oh,
he used to do mad shit like that on Channel 4 all the time.
Yes, I remember that. I more remember like the stuff that was like snail porridge and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was a bigger fan of like. I think he did like a whole series where he was doing like giant food.
Yes,
and I was a big fan of that. I remember him doing like a really big Kit Kat.
What was that for? 4 giants? Like who would eat it?
I don't know. I think maybe they put it in like Legoland or something.
I
don't know. I feel like I remember it being in some form of theme park. I'd give it to Homeless,
I would.
No, because then I'll just go crazy.
That's what I do in the middle of the high street. You can't
upset the status quo like that.
My phone just went. That's fine. Absolutely fine.
Oh, cool. Or just a vibration?
No, it's my streaks app. I've not been keeping up with any of my streaks. I've got this app that where you put what you want to do today. And
is that the one that's got Pussy Slammer on it?
No, that's a different one. I've got all these productivity apps and I'm not very productive at the moment.
No, that's okay.
I'm disabled at the moment. My eyes are in therapy.
Yeah.
Had some problems with my eye coordination. I have to see a vision therapist every 2 weeks.
Yeah. You started driving again? You know what we should do?
Have we got time to do that this episode or have we been talking for too long?
I feel like we should because it's been so long. We've constantly talk about it.
Can we set up the connectivity to the thing? I don't know how to do it.
I mean, you can set up Bluetooth.
So we teased, if anyone is following the through line of the podcast, well, actually, we teased it in the last episode as well. I think the car episode. I've started my driving lessons again. My previous driving lessons ended in controversy, I guess. I had a little crash.
Huge controversy.
Little crash in a roundabout, which happens to the best of us. Well, normally the worst of us, I guess. Maybe not the best of us. The best of us would just be learning how to drive quite easily and efficiently. And Joe, for example. But I had a little accident on a roundabout. Minor bump into a car. We don't even stop to see if the car's okay. I didn't think the car would have been damaged at all. Like the other car.
As far as I recall, you couldn't have stopped when it happened.
No, it was in the middle of a roundabout. Yeah, and the car didn't like follow us or anything, or
didn't ram you off the road.
Yeah, but the driving instructor was with, should we say a fake name? Did we say a name in any of the previous?
I'm not sure. I haven't listened back enough to know if we did or not.
Yeah, can you see my problem with saying the fake name as well? Because I don't want to be. Then I have to think of a name from a community that I'm not in, and then it seems like I've made up a name.
But you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, but then it seems weird to give him make him from a different community. Let's say he's called Steve.
Okay.
So
Steve's fine.
Well, then when
it's fine.
The thing is, if we are playing,
not from a.
So he sent me a lot of voice notes, and I thought, okay, it's maybe okay to play the voice notes as long as we don't get. He was a dickhead, so there's no reason to protect his identity. Maybe it's like a watchdog warning to not go with this guy. What?
I just like the idea that we're watchdog now.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes you got to take justice into your own hands.
Special.
And I'm not, I don't know how I feel about cancel culture. I'm not cancelling him, but maybe he deserves to be cancelled because he's bad at his job. Well, he tried to make me pay for the damage, and he was very mean about it.
He's a mean little man, Steve.
No, but when I had the little accident, instead of bear in mind I'm still in control of the car, so your motivation, anyway, if you're just not being a dick, your motivation is to calm me down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He went, "What have you done, Eric?" And I'm trying to stay good. We're still on the roundabout at this point.
Yeah, he's got to like steer and shit.
Yeah, a new driving instructor shouting, "What have you done, Eric?" I've got to just go fucking steered into the rest of the cars.
Into the oncoming lorry.
And he was like texting sometimes when we were driving and stuff. I've got a new driving instructor who's amazing. Very good. Very nice man. Feel a lot more comfortable. Much more clear in his instructions. You only know you've had someone bad when you've had someone good.
Yeah.
Maybe
well,
not.
actually, I think a lot of people were telling you that your last driving instructor was bad before this incident.
I think because I've got low self-esteem, I thought it was probably because sometimes when I learn stuff, when you're just teaching me something, I don't know, you show me how to do something on a computer, I can be like slow or like not following instructions properly.
So I think you probably are quite slow and probably, but based on what you told me about your driving instructor, I still thought he was shit.
Yeah, so I guess I put it more on myself, but the new driving instructor is much more calm and just clear and relaxed. It makes me feel relaxed.
Yeah. Which leads us on to these voice notes that your last driving instructor said.
So
we have got to set this up though. So
how do I? Can I set it up via Bluetooth or do I connect
this first? We can do it by Bluetooth. Let me just pause the recording.
Yeah.
We'll be back with you folks.
Back shortly. Right, we're back on the air.
We're back on the air. Yeah, I've done my clap.
Well, a lot of technical difficulties trying to get the
is it really worth
the
it?
sound to play through the system.
Is it really worth it?
I mean, it'll just be a quick cut for them, but I need to remind myself. So we're talking about the driving instructor. What are you doing there?
Just looking what was under there. I was just intrigued.
The driving instructor. I've had my little crash. It's not really that much of a crash. The day it actually happens, he makes me pull over. And he goes to this car paint shop. There's a little tiny scratch on his car. He gets them to look at it. They don't even do it in front of me. He says, "Oh, they're saying it'll be 300 quid," and he's saying that to me like it's relevant to me, like I'd have to pay for the damage. He's making this whole show of how expensive it'll be. A few days go by.
Is your phone at maximum volume, by the way?
I'll put it at maximum volume. It wasn't. For some reason, my driving instructor Stephen is a weird voice note driving instructor. I forgot we were calling him Steve. Yeah, Stephen is. I don't know why. I've never noticed. Any time he'd be outside my house or message about an appointment, he'd do it through voice notes, which is fair. To be fair, I do weird stuff like that.
You're a voice note fan.
Okay, so this is the next voice note he sends me after the lesson from hell.
Like your Wednesday's class, at the moment is going ahead, but it might not be because I need to get my car fixed. You know what happened last time, it's going to be quite a bit. So I don't know if you want to, they're charging me $350. So I don't know if you want to contribute towards that a bit. It's up to you. Yeah. And I'll see you Wednesday. But I'll let you know by tomorrow or today, because I'm going to have to give my car in and it's going to be a day or so to fix it. So just let me know if you want to contribute to anything.
No. I reckon it's an hour to fix it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of pain.
£350. Okay, Eric? So see you hopefully Wednesday.
Right, so it just drills on. One, I don't. It might be that it is $350 to fix it, but obviously you should have insurance. The whole, your lesson's still on, but it's not on. He's just making that whole voice note to say, can you pay for it? There's no reason for him to make that voice note. And also, he doesn't...
You can contribute if you want. You don't have to. It's up to you.
It takes a day, so even if it took a day, he could do it the day before or whatever. The car's not in such a state that he couldn't do the lesson anyway. Yeah. There's a little scratch, so there's no need for the car to be fixed. I'll respond to that. I'm fuming at this point.
He's livid.
Everyone's telling me this guy... He ain't worth shit.
This
He's
fucking
not,
guy.
You don't treat you like. He should treat you like a queen. Your driving instructor should treat you like a queen. I'm getting this all from my like sisters and stuff.
Yeah.
Saying I'm feeling empowered.
Sure.
And then he put in a text message below that at the moment the lesson is going ahead as planned. And I put, "Hi Stephen." Obviously I didn't use the name.
Got him wrong.
"Hi
Name.
Stephen, I was unhappy with how the situation was handled last week. I felt really uncomfortable at how you reacted. The car should have been looked at after, not during my lesson. I also didn't get the full time I paid for because he obviously left the lesson early. I'm now especially uncomfortable at any suggestion that I am liable. I think it would be best not to carry on lessons. I would like a refund for the remaining 2 lessons, plus a refund for last week's lesson. Thank you, Eric." And I've said my name because I'm not going to stay confidential.
You're not hiding behind
And he's put
fake names.
He's put, "Can I call you Eric?" Not as in, "Can I name you Eric?" But it's, "Can I call you?"
Can I call you Eric on this podcast I'm doing?
And then he put, "Can I call you Eric? It's fine. I will give a refund, but can I call?" Bit desperate.
Yeah.
And
bit sad.
then I put, again, very empowered, "No, I'd rather not discuss it. Let me know when the refund has been paid."
Now I'm all for you cancelling lessons and changing driving instructors.
Yeah.
And I think I told you at the time, demanding a refund for the lesson where you did scratch his car. I respect why you did it, but also I was like, that's a little bit cheeky, that is.
No, because actually, really, he didn't handle it well. So it's not.
No, I agree with that.
I didn't get the full lesson. And I'm probably only in that situation because he put me in that situation. I probably shouldn't have ever been on that roundabout anyway. Like my new driving instructor said, because I told him the story, he's like, "If you make a mistake, I'm the one that's responsible." You know what I mean? And we ended up like only doing half the lesson anyway, actually, time-wise. So
you deserve at least half of it.
Yeah. Sent another voice note.
Hello, Rick. I do apologize. Sincerely apologize. Yes, I hope we could just leave on good terms. Yes, I may have reacted badly. I sincerely apologize.
No, yeah.
If you could send me your bank details, and I'll send the remaining money, and all the best for the future. I'm very,
it's like
very
he's
sorry.
crying. All the best for the future. It's like the car.
So thank you for your time. It is so sad.
Like Carmen or
that's
something.
fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
All the best for your driving.
Very northern then, didn't he?
Take care, and I shall see you around, but I do sincerely apologize. But just send me your bank details, yeah? So I could send it back to you. Take care. Bye-bye.
So I sent him my account details. Thanks, my account details are blah, blah, blah. And then he put...
Okay, I think so. It's 120 for
this voice note, I forgot that. This is really weird. Talk about voice notes being a weird way to communicate. He does his working out for how much he's going to pay me. I don't know why he has to do it out loud.
So it's 3 hours I have to give you. So that's 24, 50.
Why would he be
40,
recording
60, 4, 8, 12, £72. I'm going to have to send you back, okay? And I do apologize, Eric, and I wish you all the best. I hope we could leave on good terms. Not you angry with me. I'm not angry with you at all, Eric.
Why would you be?
I've got a clean heart. Yes, I reacted badly. I admit. I am going to admit. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't say, oh no, I didn't react badly. I did, but it was just at the heat of the moment. So I do apologize, Eric. Please forget.
It was just heat of the moment.
Please. Because obviously in our religion, Islam...
That's weird. He brings Islam into it.
Yeah, and he's not even it.
Forgive people. Please, Eric, please forgive me.
It's weird,
I hope we can live in good terms.
Needy.
But obviously, you don't want to carry on. That's your choice. But I hope we can live in good terms, and I do apologize. And again, I do admit my mistake. Take care. And I will send you a message when I send the money back. Let me know when you got it, yeah?
And then the next thing.
What's the name on the account? What's the name?
That was so he sounded so sincere with his apology, and it's just, what's the name of the account, by the way? All right.
But the name is Eric Rushton. Thank you for your apology.
Using your full name.
Right, notice my word in here because I don't accept his apology here.
No, you say thank you for
Thank
it.
you for your apology. I appreciate it. I just think it would be best to move on now. Thanks for all the lessons so far.
Oh, he's moving on.
Thank you, Eric, for accepting my apology.
Did not accept the apology. I said thank you for the apology.
But in the future, if you need anything, like any questions or anything, just let me know. I'm here
Just
to
didn't need
help.
any questions or anything.
Yeah, who would win in a fight? A bear or a
Just like,
shark?
Thank you, Eric, and I'm very, very sorry again. Very sorry. I feel so bad. Yes, even after that day, I felt very bad as well. I thought, how do you react to Eric? And that's not the way you treat people.
This is bullshit because he's saying that day later in that day he thought that's not how you treat someone. Yeah, he didn't send me an
sent you a
apology.
voice note
Something like, do you want to contribute?
Yeah, and then he thought back later. No, but that's not how I treat people either.
So I do apologize, Eric, yeah? So now I'm just going to send your money and I'm going to message you again. So be online within about 5 minutes, couple of minutes, and let me know if you've got it, yeah? Take care then, all the
Why do you have
best.
to be online to let him know?
Hello, Eric, you're right. I've just sent it, the £72. Let me know if you've got it.
I put that's okay. Now, buckle.
Steve.
Okay, that's okay.
It's weird that you called him a different name.
I'll have to beat that. That's okay, Steve. You leave me in saying that, but beeped. That's okay, Steve. I'll put a weird message here. I accept the apology just because I don't want it to them. I make mistakes as well, so I understand. That's weird. I feel weird.
I do. Lambasted my job.
I understand it was a stressful situation for us both. I don't have any hard feelings and good luck in the future. I have received the refund. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Eric, for accepting. Yes, because, yes, we all make mistakes. Everybody does. No, but you are getting on quite good as well. Obviously, everyone goes at their own pace.
He's having a go.
Yeah,
He's
so
saying
I
I'm
still
slow
wish you all
paced.
the best in the future. And please don't leave a negative comment on any websites for me, please.
Which I haven't done, to be
It's just
fair.
going to be a heartbreaker because I've never had one.
It's going to be a
So
heartbreak.
like, some instructors, whenever they do bad, they just get a bad review. They put it on. So please, Eric, don't do that, please.
See the car's going past. I bet he's in a lesson right now.
It's going to affect everybody. And
Someone's scratching on a
I do
roundabout.
sometimes get into. I shouldn't be telling you this. I do get into mental, it's a stressful kind of thing. It affects me a lot. So yes, that's good. We've left on good terms, but
Have we?
yes, you are right. I did do wrong, so I don't have to forgive you for anything anyway because it was my fault. I completely understand. I've done wrong. I wish you all the best again, Eric. Hopefully you pass it within a couple of months. I want to see you on the roads. Yeah, so all the best, Eric. And whichever driving school you go to, I wish you all the best. Because if you go to with our driving school, then I'm going to get in trouble. You understand? So I wish you all the best. Take care, Eric.
So needy. That's the problem with the voice note because you start, you just have to stop. Write a text because then you can edit it as you go along rather than the whole stream of consciousness.
Yeah, but you did cause him a mental.
I sometimes suffer with mental stress, mental thing. And then I put, don't worry, I won't leave a review.
But
Thank
you know what?
And then he
Even
put
though-
one last one.
Oh, it was another.
Just one last
Thank
one.
you very much, Eric. It was a pleasure teaching you. Yes. And I'm going to repeat again. Yes, it was in the heat at the moment, obviously, because it can happen. Yeah, it was just the heat at the moment.
Long heat at the
I made a
moment.
massive
Message
mistake.
me a
I
few
own up
days
to my
later.
mistake. Take care, Eric, and again, all the best in the future. Good luck with your comedy as well. Hope that goes well. I want to see you on TV shortly. Yeah. All the best, Eric. Sorry, man. I feel so bad, man. Honestly. Take care, Eric.
Oh yeah, I just made me think of that. We've got this new system.
Yeah.
Let's get sound effects. Although that's really doubling down on exposing him in public, which I feel bad about. But I really want as a sound effect. I'm sorry, man. I feel so bad. If we could just press that.
I'd love that.
We got that at the moment. I'm sorry, man. I feel so
a
bad,
bad
man.
That would be a good one.
Which one's round of applause?
I think it's
Oh, we're
this
not
one.
recording any of these, are we?
Yeah, I've got my card.
Oh, yeah.
I would love I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just like, mental stress.
I'm sorry, man. I feel so bad, man. So that's the long anticipated
Was it worth it,
story of me breaking up with my driving instructor.
You know what? I know he did wrong, right? Yeah. And he did react wrong.
Should we feel? I might feel guilty about what we're doing now.
I do feel sorry for him.
I felt sorry for him during
genuinely like pained when he says
like, because I was well within my rights to leave a negative review. I probably wasn't anyway, because just out of laziness. But I was like, I would feel too guilty to feel a negative review. Cause
it probably would it might ruin him.
Yeah.
But then, have
I got a moral duty to leave a negative review to warn people, I guess. You know?
I don't know. Maybe he's not like that with other people.
Yeah, I don't care enough.
Maybe it was just you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he did wrong, but I can't help but feel sorry for him.
The way he did it. Because I didn't want him to.
That last, I feel so bad, man.
I didn't even ask for an apology today at any point. Might have done. Maybe I did. I can't remember. So, but I basically said I didn't want to talk, and then he left the voice notes anyway, or whatever. Can I call? Please let me call. Yeah, that was bad.
Oh, God bless him.
I mean, well, more wicked and wonderful stories from the lives of Eric and Joe next week.
Yeah.
Anything to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think we've covered it all now.
Are we launching a Patreon?
Yeah, click the link down below for the Patreon.
We'll have a Patreon in this.
Yeah, there'll be a link down below.
So what's
the Patreon?
Well, we'll discuss the different tiers. Is the lowest tier just going to be they get the episode a week early?
A week early? Maybe like a few days early.
I mean, there's got to be something for them.
Well, we'll try doing like exclusive
your
stuff
music.
For them. Yeah, you can get my music.
But like, will you give them that early or something? I think people would generally be into that.
Yeah, but it doesn't really come out that often enough to like promise it. You'll get stuff. We'll discuss this off air.
All right, okay.
What you get, but you'll get stuff.
We're gonna work out a Patreon
We can do like
system.
written posts and shit as well.
Yeah, I want to get back into my blogging again, so maybe I could do that.
You can get shit from both of us.
Yeah,
there'll be a link down below for the Patreon. Lowest tier, what are we saying?
I don't know. I've never used Patreon.
£3. We can do £1.
I think we normally do £3.
We'll do £3. But we're after this cash.
If you literally just want to give us £1, you can do that through PayPal me.
Yeah.
Which is,
or just give it us in cash because they take.
Just wait till if you want to give £1, just wait
3 months.
Yeah.
Do 1 month and then wait. Cancel your subscription again.
That's quite complicated for them. Anyway, have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.